And now, for more reaction, we welcome Eli David, whose brother Evyatar David was abducted by Hamas on the 7th of October and is still being held captive inside Gaza. He joins us from Tel Aviv. Eli, thank you so much once again for joining us. Just unbearable to think about the past 9 months for you and for your family. Your brother Evyatar has been in captivity for 278 days now. Now, as we've been talking about here in studio, there is some cautious, and I stress cautious optimism around the talks underway in Doha. What are your thoughts? How are you feeling about this latest development in Qatar?
Actually, I had like a dream, it was a secret, that my brother will come back in a military operation, that he will be rescued like the hostages were rescued a month ago. I didn't believe that a deal can actually happen and can actually bring Evyatar back. But after the operation, I understood that all the remaining hostages were taken to the tunnels. Like it's obvious. I mean, I don't have to be a genius to think so. It's really obvious to me, and so there is no other option. I mean, we have to release them only by a deal. There is no other option, unfortunately.
Your dream is so heartbreaking, and I think the whole nation is dreaming that there will be the safe return of all the hostages right now. And we know the pressure is immense. Families of some of the hostages have set out on the first leg of a 4-day march from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem to call for a deal. What is your sense of the impact these marches are having on decision makers as these talks continue in Doha?
Actually, I don't think it necessarily helps. It's hard to know what is what right now will help us. I think that we need to apply more pressure on Hamas, more pressure on the Qataris, on the Egyptians, on all of the mediators that take part in the negotiations. I think that the world community has to put much more pressure on terror, on Hamas. Right now, even President Biden is not willing to give up or put in risk his relations with the Qataris and the Egyptians and all the important players in that game. And I think that when the strongest nation on the world is not willing to give up those connections, the relations, then it signals terror to keep going. So it doesn't matter how many marches, how many rallies, how many protests we'll do here in Israel. It doesn't matter. If there is not enough pressure on the other side, we can shout and cry all day. We do nothing.
It's so heartbreaking, and as you say, now the major players are all meeting. One hopes that there is sufficient pressure on all involved to reach some kind of a deal, but that deal centers around a 3-stage deal. Young men like Evyatar, who turned 23 in captivity, would be the last to be released. What is your sense or understanding of the urgency to make sure that all hostages are freed in a deal?
I think, again, right now there's no other choice. The only choice is making a deal. And I really count on the people who are making this deal, the Israeli people that are doing that. I think that they are professionals. And I do count on them. I don't think I have any other choice. And again, it's as Ilya said before, it's hard to believe that Hamas will release actually all hostages because he wants the war to continue, because he wants to demolish the Israeli state. And we just need to keep keep up the hope and pray and keep pushing all the time, keep pushing the world community and the United States all the time to keep the negotiations going. We have to make sure that everybody understands that this war will end if the hostages will be back home. That's the equation. It all started with the hostages being taken from their homes, from a music festival, and it will all end with the hostages back at their homes, back with their families.
No doubt about it. That's what everybody is hoping for. Briefly, we're looking at the pictures while we're speaking to you. You and your brother look so similar. We can see the bond you share in the pictures, even through the photographs. Tell us more about him, and if you can, about your relationship, your bond. It's obvious to see. Briefly, please.
Evyatar, I think that his first love is music. He, since he's a teenager, he plays the guitar, and our connection, our language is music.
Right.
Every week we sit down and play music and sing together.
Right.
That's a family thing. And I really miss that. I think that's what I miss the most, to just play with Evyatar. And the first thing I will do is to when he will return, the first thing I'll do is probably giving him his guitar from his room.